Marvel Legend fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible contributions from my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Marvel Legends X-Men Age of Apocalypse Legion. The son of Professor X himself, who is responsible for actually creating the entire Age of Apocalypse storyline. This is one that some people are kind of iffy about, and I'll get into that more here later on. But for the packaging, obviously you can see you got the open window, you got the logos right down here, of course right up there, got an image of him looking all crazy, because he was kind of crazy, right there in the side, Apocalypse there, come around in the back, all the figures in this wave that when you collect these 6, you can create Colossus. Magneto doesn't come with any Build-A-Figure pieces, so it's a little bit easy if you just want to get these to create him, but who wouldn't want Magneto? And then you get a little bit of a read-up here that says that the son of Charles Xavier, Legion gets his incredible mind from his legendary father, but must balance unimaginable mutant powers with his mental illness. Again, very simple in terms of the kind of biography on this guy. We'll do some more storytelling. I love doing it. But for the package on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And here we have Legion opened up and out of his packaging. And the story of Legion is kind of tragic to a degree, born out of an affair between Charles Xavier and his mom. Charles actually never knew that David existed until much later in David's life. It wasn't until much later that David's family was attacked and killed by terrorists that initially caused his mutant powers to manifest. Now you can imagine, being the offspring of Charles Xavier, you would be a fairly strong mutant. And that's absolutely the case with Legion here. During that entire scene, his powers manifested and he connected to the minds of all the terrorists that were doing the attacking. It actually incinerated all of their minds. The problem, though, being connected to all of those minds at the time of their deaths caused David here to go catatonic. He was eventually transported to the care of Moira McTaggart, which is where a lot of things were really discovered about his connection to Charles Xavier. With Moira's help, he eventually came out of his coma, but what they discovered was because he was connected to all those different minds, it ended up fracturing it, creating multiple personalities, each one with their own mutant power. Now, all of the mutant powers are controlled by him, but those different personalities seem to manifest those abilities separately. During a siege on Moira's facility, he was able to actually save her and then escape that, what he basically perceived as a prison. Eventually finding out that his father was Charles Xavier, he wanted to do something to help. So again, utilizing his powers, he decided to go back in time to essentially alleviate what he perceived as the biggest threat to Charles Xavier's dream, that being Magneto. And it was all set to kill him, but really unbeknownst to him, several of the X-Men got dragged with him through that whole temporal shift, and they discovered what was going to happen and tried to essentially stop David. One of those mutants that was there was Bishop, who is a time-traveling sort of guy. You know that he's going to be kind of connected going into the Age of Apocalypse. And that's a figure that hopefully, if they do a third wave of these, is obviously going to be included, because he was extremely important in that entire series. But through all of David's kind of good intentions, I guess, when he went to try to kill Magneto, Charles Xavier jumped in the way, and David inadvertently killed his own father, which obviously creates a paradox in which he doesn't exist anymore. Professor X is now dead. Magneto witnesses this, and it creates a whole new universe. One in which Apocalypse is able to come to power because the X-Men are not there through the leadership of Charles Xavier to constantly thwart his evil plans. But of course, time travel's a messy thing, because if he goes back kills Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier doesn't go on to end up having a kid. How can that kid then go back in time? It's a messy, messy loop of things. But really, just, you kind of feel bad, because like I said, very tragic upbringing with this guy. For his accessories, though, you can see that he does come with, what is this, the right leg of Colossus. Obviously, you got the boot thing. It connects right up there. We'll show all that here when we do that review of Magneto, where everything comes together. And then he also does come with a pair of fisted hands, which, yay, fisted hands. And then for the figure himself, you know, I really don't mind this all that much. Although I do know a lot of people, and I love that pose that I had him in, a lot of people kind of complain about him because realistically, when you go back and you look at, I don't want to say the animation, but the art for him, he definitely does not have, I mean, he's kind of got a thin body here, but he definitely had a much thinner body. He was really scrawny. I mean, I guess it's okay. Personally, I do feel that this is the weakest figure in this entire wave, but is definitely a figure that is necessary because he, as I talked about, is the catalyst for the entire Age of Apocalypse storyline. I just feel like he's a little bit too in shape, if that makes sense. I mean, he's a good figure. Let's see. Size-wise, obviously, he's fairly average. He's another Marvel Legend figure. I'm just going to call this no-name guy. I don't remember his name. He does get extremely taller with his really poofy hair, but, you know, a fairly average Marvel Legend figure. I could totally imagine them using this body for something else, to be totally honest with you. So it's like, I feel like that's the main purpose of him. And you just, because can his head come off? Oh, yeah, there you go. Ah! You can pull his head off and, hey, put Sabretooth's head on there. That's gonna look weird. Because, yeah. So it's like, I feel like they can use this as a generic body for almost anybody else. You just gotta swap out that head, which they get that on there. The head sculpt does look pretty nice. Coming in to take a slightly closer look at that. That does look pretty good. He's got a little bit of a smirk on there. Definitely doesn't really look all that crazy, to be honest. He does have like this little eyebrow thing going, which is kind of funny. Like I said, I just feel like he's just I don't want to say bulky, because he's not really bulky. It's just, for somebody who is extraordinarily scrawny looking, he definitely has a little bit more mass to him. The head sculpt, though, looks great. The hair is really hilarious, but it is accurate to the character. You can see that he's wearing this, like, hospital garb with no sleeves. He doesn't have shoes or anything like that. Great paint variation you can see with it. Really nice shading with the lighter blue and the darker blue throughout the entire thing. That looks really cool. I do really like that. In general, I mean, it's an average figure. It's nothing that is really wowing me. And as I said, I definitely think that he is the weakest in this first wave. Articulation is all the same. The ball joints, the hinges, the swivels, all that fun stuff. He does have a kind of shin rotation that allows you to rotate things around. Then you have the forward and back, and of course the hacky sack there. So, good level of articulation. For me, though, I'm absolutely, in the pose that you could see where I had him sitting there, that's absolutely going to be the display choice for me. I just think that looks cool. Kind of gives it a crazy man look. So, in general, I do recommend him. Obviously, as a big Age of Apocalypse fan, he's necessary for that. You also do have to get the leg, so there's that. So it does kind of make you have to buy this. I feel like if they gave this leg to like Magneto or something like that, it would make this figure not sell as well. So they put a Build-A-Figure piece there to really encourage the sale for them, knowing that people are probably going to get Magneto. So they're smart when it comes to this stuff. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Marvel Legends X-Men Age of Apocalypse Legion. If you'd like to pick this guy up or any other Marvel Legend figures, you can do so over at Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store. For both of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where you can go there and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Marvel Legend figures. And as always, guys, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.